zucchini chocolate chip oatmeal cookies. Part of why I'm so pumped about it is I actually, even though that was my original recipe, I switched it at the last minute and made it yellow squash chocolate chip oatmeal cookies. And that is what makes it so exciting is this cookie recipe is so versatile. And you can do it with the butternut squash, you could do it with sweet potatoes, you could do it with zucchini squash, like or yellow squash, which we're doing today.
Delicious.
And the best part is you, your kids, everybody you feed these to will love them and not be any the wiser for the vegetable you're including in their sweet treat, which I love. So I'm just grating on a box grater.
And you and I have talked about this so much. For children, make them laugh, make the food fun, lie to them or hide it.
So that's gonna just hang out on a dishcloth. And I like to do that first in the recipe because you don't need to wring it out or anything. I just fold a dishcloth over it, press it a little bit, and then let it hang 10, 15 minutes. It just dries it out a little bit so these cookies stay really crisp and delicious. In this bowl, I have creamed together a cup of sugar, a stick of butter, and 1 egg. So it's nice and light and fluffy. And then here is my little sneaky trick, guys. I like to add about a tablespoon of maple syrup, and that does add its own delicious flavor, but it also helps these cookies get that nice little lacy edge, which I definitely love. And then I go heavy on the vanilla extract.
That little crisp on the very, very, very edge. It's the best bite, period.
Blend together quickly your maple syrup and your vanilla into your wet mix. And then you thought the health stopped with the veggies. It didn't. I've got 2 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats here. And then I've got some almond meal, about a cup of almond meal, almond flour, and a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And I did some experimenting on this recipe. We've tried it a lot, as you can imagine. And if you want to leave the all-purpose flour out of your, avoiding refined flour, you definitely can. It just makes the cookie a little lacier, a little more crumbly. This little bit of flour makes it really hold together beautifully. And then I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. You always need that little bit of salt in there. Give those dry ingredients just a quick mix. I went ahead and added in 1 heaping cup of those grated veg, and I tossed them through the dry mix. I'll tell you why. This, when you add dry into wet and it doesn't distribute properly, I find when I toss it together, it kind of coats it. It makes it work more evenly into the batter.
It coats it like you would coat pasta in the sauce before you serve it. Like really beautiful.
Yes, yum. And this is the kind of thing where, because there is all that great protein and fiber from the oatmeal, from the almond meal, all the rest, and the veg, of course, I don't lead with those details. I don't lead with the reasons your cookies are good for you, but if cookies are going to be good for you, I feel like this is a good way to go.
No, you got to lead with, we're making cookies, baby.
Chocolate chips, girl. 1/2 cup.
Yes.
And
bring it.
I wouldn't deprive you. And so then you can actually do this with the hand mixer, of course, but I didn't want to hurt your eardrums, so I'm doing it with a spatula. This dough comes together beautifully. Everything binds together. Now, the one little thing you want to do is refrigerate it for about 2 hours just to let everything stick together.
Correct.
And it helps the balls to form, and it also helps with the spread. When you're cooking cookies where the butter's already kind of melted because the dough's warm, this obviously, it spreads too fast. You don't get that lovely plush texture that I think we really want. We want that play of textures. I mean, I'll be honest, I never met a cookie I didn't like, but if we can get it to closer to perfection in heaven, we'll do that. Then these go in the oven after they've been in the fridge for 2 hours, roughly. They're going to go in the oven about 18 minutes. They are going to come out like this.
They are so gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at the pillowy center.
So beautiful.